The fastest stock car races staged anywhere. That's the story of the Daytona International Speedway. Speeds up to 160 miles an hour are achieved by these roaring late model stock cars over the 2.5-mile track. We'll be back in just a moment with exciting action from the Daytona International Speedway on ABC's Wide World of Sports. And it's car number 3 moving up on the outside, and he's going to try to get the lead here. He's got the lead. Car number 3, Dave Pearson, has the lead from Freddie Lorenzen. They'll get the white flag. Pearson out in front. Lorenzen right behind him. The white flag is on, and what a battle goes on as Lorenzen tries to come to the inside. Pearson stays in the groove, goes high into the turn on the number 1 turn. We have less than a lap to go. A grueling pace of better than 155 miles an hour. Set by Fireball Roberts on many of the laps, but he's spun out. He's not in contention now. Davey Pearson, who ran second most of the race, has taken over the lead, and Freddie Lorenzen is in second place. There they are, bumper to bumper as they go down the backstretch. They're now halfway through this 2.5-mile tri-oval. Less than a mile to go now as Lorenzen is behind Davey Pearson, and here's where it could pay off. The checkered flag is coming out. Pearson, can he stay with it? Lorenzen tries to go low. Pearson's going to have to stand on it right now, all the way down, and here comes Lorenzen. They're half a car length apart, less than that, and Pearson is in front. Wow, what a finish.
The white flag is out, 1 lap to go. The leader is still Bobby Isaac. Well, if Foyt's going to make a move, it's going to have to be soon. And Paul Goldsmith up there in 4th position is between Foyt and Isaac, and this will complicate Foyt's problem. Foyt will probably try to get a draft down that back stretch. Let's see if he can do it. And Buck Baker will try to make the same maneuver. Bobby Isaac, the leader. Here's Foyt moving to the inside. Can he make it? He's even. He's ahead. Foyt is the leader. Just a few feet ahead of Bobby Isaac. Paul Goldsmith high to the outside in a fight for 4th. Now let's see if Isaac can move out and pass Foyt as they come for the finish line. This is going to be an almost photo finish. Coming down for the last lap. Isaac to the outside, pulling up alongside Foyt. They're coming to the finish line. And the race is over, and Foyt is the winner. The checkered flag out for A.J. Foyt, the winner ahead of Bobby Isaac by just 4 feet. And Paul Goldsmith and Buck Baker were in a photo finish for 4th. What a race this has been, with A.J. Foyt scoring the first victory for a USAC driver, and there is the final finish. And now the 6th Firecracker 400 is history, and our congratulations to A.J. Foyt, the winner.
2 of the greatest in Grand National racing are really having at it. Richard Petty chasing David Pearson. Pearson 21, Petty 43.
This is unbelievable to see these cars this close, particularly these 2 men, because the crowd must be on their toes at this time to see Pearson and Petty going this way. What can possibly happen in this very last lap that's just coming up?
And Pearson backs off for Petty. Something wrong with Pearson. Petty takes the lead. I think Pearson backed off of it.
It looks almost as he ran out of petrol or something. I've never seen anything like this happen before. It could be very bad luck for him, but my goodness, what an advantage. Richard Petty. The crowd are absolutely on their feet and yelling. Richard Petty's got an enormous advantage. 300 or 400 yards, it looks like.
To have stopped so suddenly, to have suddenly slowed up like that, makes me think, though, Jackie, he backed off on purpose, because obviously he's still got horsepower, and he's now closing right in behind Richard Petty as they turn and come for home. Can Pearson slingshot him as he comes down low? Petty may run him into the fence, and it's going to be Pearson winning it. An incredible, daring move, and it paid off for David Pearson.
I'll tell you, that finish was something else. Well, Chris, I knew that if I let him stay behind me, that he would draft me and beat me, so I just backed off right there at the last flag, at the white flag, and let him go on by, then I got him back, coming off 4.
It was just one of them things that I think that is awful obvious for him to do something like that, just to show how much faster he was than the rest of us. You know.
And there will be 2 laps to go as Labonte has flashed the signal. All he has to do is go 5 miles ahead of Buddy Baker. That is going to ask something from him. And here they come around turn 4. And it is Buddy Baker moving up fast on Labonte. Labonte is dropping way back. Sam, that can only mean one thing. He must be out of fuel. Look how far back he's gone.
Oh, yeah, Terry just slowed. Absolutely. Look, another car passing him there. Well, you can't call this bad luck exactly. It's something that he and his crew chief, Dale Inman, are really going to talk about for a long time.
So Buddy Baker, who has yet to win the Firecracker 400, looks like he is going to come in if he can keep it together.
And this would be there.
There it is. Checkered flag for Buddy Baker.
I gave the February race away by leading the last lap, and I was almost certain I wasn't going to be in that spot again. And when Terry was happy to lead, I was happy to run second and keep the radiator cool. And I'm sure he feels that he could have won the race, but all I can say is you look who led the most laps today, and you'll see who had the better car.
All right, gentlemen, start your engines.
Back at the Daytona International Speedway, and we are building toward a dramatic finish. President Ronald Reagan looking on alongside Bill Jr., whose family built this racetrack. And out on the course, it is Richard Petty in car 43, Cale Yarborough in car 28. Now as they try to position themselves for the last lap first to the finish. When they cross the yellow line on the front straight here, there will be 3 laps remaining in the race. They're now on lap 150, and a car is spun out. Doug Heveron's car is spun out in turn 1. So now the yellow caution flag may be coming out. Indeed, as I look just below us, the yellow caution flag is going to come out. This will, in all intents and purposes, perhaps be the last lap of the race. The rule requires them to solidify under the caution at the beginning of the next lap.
It's an incredible situation. Now, are they going to race to the line? This is an interesting rule situation, Jim. You are allowed to race to the line once the yellow has come out. Cale Yarborough did that. Richard Petty is counterattacking. This may be the race that we're looking at here as they sweep up into traffic. A highly dangerous situation.
Coming down the front straight. Here they are, Sam. They will come across the yellow line just about together, but Petty had the lead. By the nose of the car, Richard Petty was just in front of Cale Yarborough as they came across the line. You are going to see a checkered flag for car number 43. Richard Petty has won the 200th race of his incomparable Grand National stock car racing career.
You know, 200 is very, very important, but under the circumstances, with all the presidents that's ever been in the United States, this is the first one that's ever showed up at a racetrack. So everybody's got to go from that, from racing standpoint, and I wanted to be the one that was able to welcome him to Grand National Racing.
Fans here in Daytona probably still grabbing for their programs, trying to figure out just who number 10 is. He is 32-year-old Greg Sachs in a research and development car from Dyegard Racing. And now Greg Sachs, a New Yorker. What a rare event that is, challenging Bill Elliott for the lead in the Firecracker 400. And Sachs has moved in front. The 32-year-old from Mattatuck, Long Island, New York, has challenged the superstar Ford and has taken the lead and now begins to muscle by Bill Elliott.
I'm with Gary Nelson, the crew chief on the Sachs car. Gary, your car carries no sponsorship of any kind and is being driven by a driver relatively unknown in this sport, and yet you're leading the race. What's going on here?
Well, we're real happy. This is an experimental car. We've put a lot of new ideas in that we've always wanted to try, but it's a big gamble to try them on Bobby's number 22 car.
Bobby Allison's car.
Right. If it didn't work, we could go back further, but we were able to gamble, no sponsor to answer to. You know, we were able to say, okay, the wildest thing we can think of, we're going to do on this car.
But now, even in his own mind, Greg Sachs is the winner of the Firecracker 400. A major upset at Daytona today, and there are the people who pulled it off. They didn't work together more than a week ago, but somehow they put it all together today.
71 is high, number 90 is SCHRADER low. SCHRADER going for the lead, has his nose in front, can't keep it there. Can't keep it there. Doesn't have quite enough suck to get by him, and here comes Bobby Allison, car number 22. He and SCHRADER both pass Marcus. Baker moves up alongside Marcus, and it is Allison going to the lead. He's come from nowhere. He was a lap down, unwound himself in 153, and all of a sudden, he is really hauling it. Right now, you see Bobby, 49 years of age, sitting up in front after 350 miles. You've learned a lot about the track, the conditions, the performance of the car. You keep shuffling, you keep changing, you keep guessing. And if you're lucky, you guess right, we've got a problem. That is SCHRADER into the pack. Kent goes out with him. Allison wins the race. Baker is second. Marcus third. And a flip by Ken SCHRADER, taking Harry Gant with him. look from inside. See how this interior camera worked throughout this.
Once you get like that, you know, you're so far behind the car, you just never catch up to it.
And Elliott sits out at the front of the field. Then Rick Wilson and Darrell Waltrip makes his move up and picks up third spot. Rick Wilson, look at him. He maneuvers right behind Bill Elliott.
I think he's going to have to stay right there if he has a chance. The white flag is out. One more lap. So now's the time. The last lap. If anybody's going to do anything, this is when it'll happen.
The guesswork is over. Wilson moves down out of his more familiar position of directly behind Elliott, tries a little bit on the low side. Remember, too, that depending on where they place their car relative to the car in front of them, then they can actually affect the handling of that car in front of them by spoiling the way air is coming off the back of the car. But look at Earnhardt. Earnhardt closes up behind Wilson and then has to fall back as Wilson makes his move down to the inside. He is alongside Bill Elliott. Wilson alongside, pushes a nose just ahead. Will this be the first victory for Wilson? Elliott is alongside now. Elliott forges ahead, and Elliott with a nose just ahead of Wilson at the line as they touch, coming across to finish this race. Elliott wins the firecracker with Wilson in second place by inches.
You know, that's the way it goes. The car just picked up enough to pull back past him, and he wasn't able to pick it back up quick enough.
Time to settle the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is sixth in line, and Benson leads on the restart.
Once again, you can't pass on the inside till you get to that line. All right, it's free game. Let's go.
Junior to the outside of Mayfield for third.
Seven's coming with you. Seven's coming.
Mike Wallace is coming with him. We can hear Ty Norris telling him, you got help on the outside, Junior.
Does Blaney block in the 93? What about Benson?
They're going to stay on the bottom of the racetrack. I think they're going to give the outside to Junior.
Still there.
Here's Dale Jr. to the outside of Dave Blaney for second spot. Mayfield pushes him along in the draft.
Still there. Still there.
To the outside for the lead in turn 4. Dale Earnhardt Jr. rockets to the front at Daytona. Listen to the crowd.
And look at this crowd behind him. Look at this race behind him.
Michael Waltrip dives underneath Bobby Labonte. They bump on the backstretch. Waltrip to second. Elliott Sadler and Rusty Wallace with him.
Coming behind you.
Here they come, turn 4, final lap of the Pepsi 400. Michael Waltrip in second, but it's going to be Dale Earnhardt Jr. using lessons learned from his father to go from 6th to 1st and score the victory in the Pepsi 400.
That's unbelievable.
Yes!
That band behind you did it for you. You guys celebrate. You love your band. You did it.
That was beautiful. Very, very nice.
Junior, you're happy.
Look at that smile.
I don't think there's anybody here that didn't want to see that.
Sentimental favorite, emotional favorite. Earlier in the broadcast, we talk among ourselves. Some of the moves he made on the track today looked like his father.
Kyle Busch in the 5 car, trying to win 2 NASCAR races on the same track in the same day.
How cool would that be? I don't care. That would just be phenomenal.
McMurray in that 26 car led early in the race, was black flagged for passing below the yellow line. Had to do a pass-through penalty, caught a break on a caution, has worked his way to the lead. Side by side with Kyle Busch as they come to the white flag. Kyle Busch now has his brother Kurt behind him.
The one thing is Kyle Busch has the inside, and because of where the start-finish line here is, at this place, the inside line is the line if you can maintain it coming out of turn 4.
Will Edwards,
man, I'll tell you what.
Will Edwards help his teammate, or will he make a move for the win?
Your brother will come show.
I don't know if he'll be able to make the move for the win.
Kyle Busch is the guy right here. He's your winner.
He's gonna have the momentum, and he's gonna get to the line.
Coming to the checkers.
Oh, whoa! That was close. I don't know.
Waiting for scoring.
I think the 26 got him.
It says 26 on the monitor.
Wow.
Great.
Remember the finish in the 500? How about that?
That's good stuff.
They said it's the last lap, and I knew we were going to rub doors all the way here, and I did want to get on the bottom because I knew the outside would have the run, but I don't believe it.